You want to fight, bro?
Yeah, the Fight Bros Podcast. 3, 2, 1.
What's up, Fight Bros Podcast listeners? We're coming at you with the 18th podcast today. Today is December 22nd, 2019. Very excited. It's been a minute for us, but as always, I'm Marcus Burks, and this is Albert Walters.
Hey, guys. Happy to be here.
So I don't think we didn't put out a podcast last week. So
no, which sucked because the UFC 245 or 244.
245.
240 UFC 245 was last Saturday, and we saw that, and it was a blast. It was a great fight. I hate we didn't get to have a podcast the next day.
Yeah, because that's probably the most fun I've had watching a fight.
That was a lot of fun. Like that, oh my God, we were laughing the entire time. Oh my God, I loved it.
Oh, we got some good stories for y'all today about this fight.
Y'all are going to laugh. Y'all are probably going to call us dicks. But it was fun. So let's start with it. So the main event for the prelims was Mike Perry.
Yeah, this was my biggest surprise of the night. I did not expect what we was about to see with this fight.
So Mike Perry lost.
By knockout.
By knockout. That's a shock, man.
I know. We're talking about one of the guys that I thought, was one of the tougher guys in the UFC. I never thought I would see him get knocked out. I never thought I'd see him get TKO'd. He's just one of those guys. They're just like Nate Diaz. They're not going to go away. They're going to make you kill them before they fall out.
Yeah.
I just was so surprised that he got knocked out in the way he did. What was it, like 30 seconds maybe?
It wasn't. It was first round.
Yeah, and I mean 30 seconds. I mean, if he got knocked out later rounds or something, I could see it wearing on him. But we're talking about Mike Perry, 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, it was a shock for everybody, and I don't know. I agree with you, man. And I was thinking the same thing. The analogy of Nate Diaz, you can't knock Nate Diaz out. So if you did, what would the world think? So that's kind of where I am with Mike Perry. I mean, his nose got dislodged so much it was flat against his face.
Yeah.
He still wasn't knocked out. So that's recapping back to our first podcast. I think that was our first podcast.
So,
yeah.
With Mike Perry's nose.
Yeah, with Mike Perry's nose, man.
He got that plastic surgery, so now he can literally push his nose down flat to his face.
It's gross. Yeah, so Mike Perry lost.
Yeah, and that guy Neal that he was facing, I definitely see him getting a top 10 opponent next.
Yeah.
I feel like that dude's gonna make some waves in that welterweight division. He's pretty good. I think Neil Magny just got booked for a fight, but I could see him fighting like Neil Magny, RDA. A lot of good stuff in store for Neil that just beat Mike Perry.
Yeah.
So let's get moving on to the main card. Peter Yan versus Uriah Faber. Tough, man.
Tough.
Uriah Faber is a legend, man. What is he, 41, 42 years old?
Yeah.
I really wanted him to win. I really wanted him to get a title shot. This was his fight to get a title shot, and just tough, man, when you're facing people like Peter Yan, the top people in that division. Very tough fight.
And Faber said he was only coming back trying to get a title shot too.
Yeah.
So
this sucks. He got TKO'd. Well, kind of knocked out that front kick. You remember, right?
Yeah, Yan kind of slept him.
Yeah.
So
43 seconds into the third round. So
yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, that was a hard one to see Faber go out like that, because he's like 42. He's a legend.
And he got on Ariel Helwani, too, saying that he wanted 2 more fights. He just said they have to make sense. He said he wants to fight every year on his birthday for the next 2 years.
That's odd. Was that his birthday?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay. That's odd.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, so moving on, Marlon Moraes versus Jose Aldo. A lot of people didn't like this decision.
I didn't think it was a bad decision, though.
Well, it started out Marlon Moraes that first round. He came out flying as always. I think he got He took a head kick early on. He threw a head kick at Aldo. Kind of knocked Aldo for a second. But then I thought as we seen that second and third round, Aldo was putting more pressure, landed more shots in that second and third round. I really thought Moraes, that only round that he had was that first round.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's still a close fight. I personally think Aldo won.
Was it a split decision?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And the weird thing is Cejudo, dude, he put out the 135 champion, Henry Cejudo, he put out this promo after the fight. So Marlon Moraes just beat him. Obviously, Cejudo just beat Marlon Moraes, a couple of months ago. Not a couple of months ago, but
recently, yeah.
And where everybody thought Jose Aldo won, he called out Jose Aldo. So he wants to fight the person that just lost for his next title defense. Kind of weird, dude. The promo he put out was kind of funny. He took a page out of Colby Covington's book. He hired a bunch of women. They were sitting there like he was outside of his pool. They were like fanning him with these like palm leaves or whatever. Just real cringy, man. Real cringeworthy WWE promo right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like the WWE right there. So
that'll be interesting to see who gets a shot at Cejudo next. He also just got stripped of his 125-pound title. So they have announced that at UFC Norfolk, that 125-pound title is going to be the main event of Fight Night in UFC Norfolk in 2020. And they already stripped him. He is not. I've not seen him make a comment about it yet since he got stripped. But I mean, deservingly, as we've seen in the UFC, people that become double champions, they just hold up the weight classes. Conor had to be stripped. DC had to be stripped. It's just hard to defend at both, especially with people like DC. Once you get to heavyweight, dude, that weight cut down to light heavyweight, trying to make 205 after you've been fighting at heavyweight, I just never seen that. McGregor, I could have seen, you had maybe. You had the 145 and the 155,
that's not much.
That's not much, and then in Cejudo's, that's not much, but I feel like for a grown man that's 30 years old to make 125 pounds, that's pretty tough.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I totally don't disagree. I think it's a good idea. You got two belts, but if you can't keep up and can't defend them both fairly, because, like you said, you can't hold up a division.
Yeah.
So, you've got to fight double time. And so, really, if you have two belts, you need to be fighting 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah, and he got injured. Cejudo got injured, had to have the rotator cuff surgery. You have to be active. I would say if you have 2 belts, you need to at least fight 5 times a year.
Yeah. Yeah, you've really got to keep going because you've got 2 belts to defend.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful to both divisions, so...
So moving on to the co-main event, since there was 3 title fights on this card.
3 title fights.
Amanda Nunes versus Juran.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, it turned out to be a little bit of a challenge for Amanda. I just didn't expect a whole lot. I know on the last podcast, I said Amanda was going to knock her out pretty quick. That didn't happen, man. Amanda kind of had trouble with her length. She did not want to stand up with Juran. So she went to her advantages. This is why it's mixed martial arts. You don't have to be stationary to one attribute of, of your personal attributes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could have worded that better, but
but it's
so
whatever.
She went to take her down. So she just took her down the whole time. She was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna stand here and get punched in the face." She got kicked one good time. That's the first time I've seen Amanda kind of knocked. It rocked.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. She got rocked off that. Juranime, or Day Random, her opponent. She put up a hell of a fight for Nunes. So that was a surprise to me.
But this is the thing, man. I don't know what's next. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I don't know if you've seen, but the boxing women's champion of the world, Claressa, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I think her name's Claressa. Dang. Shields is her last name.
Shields.
Yeah.
Shields.
Yeah.
What does Shields want?
So Shields is the women's boxing champion of the world. She's pretty dominant. I think she's undefeated. She was at the fight. It seems to me like Dana and them put her at the fight to kind of, Dana White's coming out with this Zuffa of boxing. That's going to be his next venture, so they're acting like a lot of UFC fighters are going to be doing crossover fights with his boxing promotion, Zuffa Boxing, that's coming out. You supposedly got Floyd Mayweather coming out to fight people. They're going to try to get a lot of boxing versus UFC, it seems. Now, Dana denies it, but why are you associating UFC with this Zuffa Boxing if you're not? But they're looking at that Amanda Nunes versus Shields as a possible, but as we've seen, Amanda couldn't stand up with Juran, so how is she going to stand up with a professional boxer?
Yeah. That's something to consider, though.
But Shields proposed a idea to Amanda. She said, obviously, I understand that right now in both of our careers, if she said, I think the only fair way to do it, which of course she's going to say this, is boxing at first. But she was like, if she gives me a boxing match, I will return the favor and give her an MMA match. She was like,
that's fair.
But I don't want to do the MMA match right off because if I have 3 months of training for wrestling and then I go out there and she just takes me down every time, she was like, I understand that could happen right off.
Yeah.
So I liked her proposal.
I think that's the only way you can do it. Like that's why I didn't think the Floyd and McGregor fight was fair, because
he didn't return
McGregor's
the favor.
not a boxer. Yeah, he didn't. There was no MMA involved.
And he said he would, and that's what made me mad. As soon as that came out of Floyd's mouth, I knew
it would never happen.
Yeah, he shouldn't even said that.
No.
But with Shields and Amanda, I really do believe Shields would do the MMA. MMA.
Well,
fight.
she offered it, and I think that's fair.
Shields, I was listening to a podcast about it, but I mean, what they said was true. This was on Brennan Schaub's podcast. Like, if you look at women's combat sports right now, Amanda Nunes is the cream of the crop. She's the top of the food chain in all of combat sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Shields is the boxing women's heavyweight champion of the world, undefeated, this and that. Boxing doesn't do enough marketing, though, for us to really know. That was the first time I heard of her.
Yeah.
I mean, I pay attention to boxing a little bit. I watch Tyson Fury, the top people, and I'd never heard of her until this.
Yeah.
And it's just an aspect of marketing, and that's like what I've always said. Like, yeah, I know boxing used to be this and that back in the day. Mike Tyson, it used to be what people wanted to watch. But UFC, there's nothing better than UFC.
No.
If we're talking the game of fighting, no matter how you want to put it, if you want to do one aspect of fighting, UFC is what everybody wants to watch.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's a better promotion. You've got better fighters. It's more interesting. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
So I hated to see Nunes have trouble though.
Yeah,
I thought that was gonna be an easy fight.
Kind of made us see that she's got some holes.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody will be able to fill those holes in the UFC, but I don't know. I don't know what's next for her, man. That's the kind of sucky part.
Yeah,
they don't really have nothing for her. I think the 145. This was a 135-pound women's fight, but she also has the 145-pound belt. But that 145-pound belt, they pretty much just made that division for Cyborg.
Yeah,
because she couldn't make 135 anymore. So I could see in 2020 that division going away, the 145-pound.
Yeah,
I legit think they have about 5 or 6 fighters in it right now. Yeah.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, and we're talking like men's. Let's just look at like the lightweight, 155 pounds. I think there's like 300, 400 plus fighters in that division. Yeah.
No, that's excessive though, because like heavyweight.
That's what they've talked about before. They said, UFC, maybe the pay would be better if they only, I don't know, maybe 40 fighters a division.
I was gonna say, I don't think you would need more
30,
than 50.
30 fighters? That'd be kind of cutting it slim with injuries. Maybe 50, yeah.
I think, like, because that could fill in your slots for your non-fight nights.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, what? NBA, what is that? Maybe 150 players in the whole NBA make a roster every year.
I think
12, 15 people on a roster. So maybe they could do that. 50 people a weight class. It's kind of a good idea.
It's not bad.
I mean, I know we would come with so many injuries in the UFC, but that could fix that fighter's pay problem.
But then it could kind of be like the WWE, and you have like a backup league.
Yeah.
Where the top of that person, the top of that rank, when your 50th person's out of the UFC, you bring up the person who's the top of.
So you're suggesting like a G League, like
yeah,
NBA,
like what's that thing called at the
NXT?
NXT. That's what I'm talking about. They have a lot of people in NXT that are trying to go to the WWE.
Yeah,
the UFC could do that.
Pulaski Yankee.
Yeah, something like that. Where you go there and you fight and you do your job. The goal is to get to the UFC and get to the top. And if you're just really good, they'll just bring you in and get rid of somebody who's like the 50th or whatever. Like, who cares? But, I don't think that's a bad setup. So, keeps numbers low.
Yeah.
Really, if you're good, you're good. Like, if you're the 400th lightweight person in the UFC, like, who are you?
And they ain't getting paid much, man. They're probably getting paid $3,000.
If that.
And that's what sucks, man. I've like listened to some podcasts about dudes talking about, they're like, if you're not one of the top guys, if you're really, if you're not like top 25 in your division, you might get paid $5,000-$10,000 a fight. So let's see. I mean, most of these guys are living in Vegas. They're living in Florida and stuff.
Oh, so they've got so many part-time jobs. You would have to fight.
You would want to get fight of the night. I would definitely aim to get fight of the night to get that 50,000.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys that aren't big names are having to fight 5 times a year. If you get injured,
that's it for you.
And even if you let's say you make $10,000-$15,000 for your fight, dude, you probably got to pay your camp and nutritionists and stuff. I would assume that's $5-6 grand easy.
Easy, man, easy. I would say the camp alone. Depending on your fight camp. Like, I'd say if you're ranked number 1, your camp's going to be more expensive.
Oh, it's going to be expensive, yeah.
Because you got to have a lot more trainers. You probably have physicians there. Like, they're going all out to make sure you win.
All the big guys, like, the big-time guys that make a lot, like, I know John Jones in the past has, he gives his camp, like, if he wins, he'll pay his camp more than the standard rate.
Oh,
so a lot of those guys will do stuff like that.
Dude, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. So, so moving on to the co-main, a lot of people were upset over this. What do you think?
I really wasn't upset, man.
I wasn't either. So,
I mean, like I told you, like, Max Holloway was a good featherweight champion. In my personal opinion, I didn't really care who won. I picked Max Holloway on the podcast, but Alexander Volkanovski, he did what he needed to do. This is a game of points. You win round by round. He knew. I mean, when you know how the judges are going to score it, you go out there and do that. I know Max was mad. He didn't have a lot of damage. He thought he won. Did Volkanovski, though, the leg kicks, though.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. Just point.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like point.
Yeah.
You take him down. That's extra points.
Yeah.
You dodge a haymaker. Extra points. Like, if you're a good fighter, you get a lot of points. But if you're not a good fighter, you keep doing leg kicks. Because there's still points. But Max Holloway's leg looked rough, man. He was going at it.
That's why I don't get why he said this was the least damage I've took in a fight, because his leg was
maybe
pretty
above the
bad.
belt.
Yeah, his leg was pretty bad.
Yeah, like above the belt, probably less damage, but below the belt, his leg looked rough.
And I mean, we're talking about a guy who used to be like 250, Volkanovski, kicking you with leg kicks. Like,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of power behind a
Oh,
lot of his
yeah.
strikes.
You could tell he's a powerful dude. Like you could tell he used to be a heavier guy
Mhm.
because all that's like condensed into the size he is now. So that's all I can kind of say. That wasn't like a.
It wasn't, like an awesome fight.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's next. I know Dana came out and said, and me and you kind of said this. I think I want to see the rematch. I don't really think there's a lot going on in that division. Dana
No.
said he wants to try to book the rematch in 2020 in Australia. I think that's Volkanovski's.
That's
Nah, I don't know.
someone's.
Yeah, it's someone. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that rematch. Max kind of acted like he didn't want it, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't know why though. Like
Yeah.
I think he deserves it because he's held that title for years.
Yeah. And
You
that,
know.
and Rogan still called him the greatest 145er,
Yeah.
which I kind of agree with. Volkanovski just had one win. And all the greats, I mean, as we've seen in the past, like George St. Pierre, he lost to, who was it? He lost to Matt Serra, got upset by Matt Serra, came back and beat him. So, the people that are truly great, they'll come back and avenge their loss.
Yeah, and then probably retire.
Yeah, which he's still 28. I agreed with him. It was kind of funny what he said. He was like, it is what it is. I'm 28. And he started laughing, and then I was like, yeah, why is he laughing? But
Weird.
I mean, that's a good way to go about it.
How old's Volkanovski?
He might have been 30 or something.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not.
But I mean, 28. I mean, I don't know if really fighters. I feel like 30 to 37 is their prime, unless you're Romero and you're still in your prime at 42.
You think it's mid-30s as people's prime?
Yeah, I don't think Romero will be out of his prime until like maybe 47 or something.
40. I'm thinking 45. We'll start to see the
when he
fall
quits
of Romero.
backflipping in the ring, we'll
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't land it or something. We're like, oh,
Yeah, when he
Kinda getting out
backflips
of
and he
it,
goes, oh, like we'll know he's kind of going downhill.
yeah.
So,
But, but moving on to our main event, this is where all the magic happened. This is what made my night. I don't know, man.
It was awesome.
I laughed through this whole fight, and not because it wasn't a good fight. I mean, they stood up the whole time, but there's just a lot going on in beat-ups that night, man. A lot of Colby Covington fans in there. I didn't expect that much, man.
fans. Honest, for Blacksburg, I did not expect that because, Covington has kind of made this more or less a political fight, not a UFC fight. He's made it a political fight.
Yeah.
And we typically see Blacksburg as more, hippie people, left winged. And I was surprised to see a lot of right winged people in there going for Covington because most people don't want to go to where they have parties who disagree with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
and that's what I kind of liked about it is, we don't agree with that, but
yeah, like I hate that it's
liked
political.
being in that situation where we were like, these people over here were clapping, getting all hyped, and then we were just egging them on like, yeah.
Oh my god, it was so much fun. So there were, like you said, so many Covington fans.
Yeah.
And so there's this one kid in particular. Well, there's this one dude. He was a douche. He got right in front of the TV. You remember that guy who was like, it was kind of fighting with the manager at the end of the night.
At my house when I'm by myself.
Like that's what you would think. You would think he was there by himself. There's a TV that was like eye level with everyone, and he gets in front of it like he's the only one watching, and so he's standing right in front of it. But that's a douche move. So he was going for Covington. Then there's another kid who was like so loud. Every time Covington would throw a punch, he'd go, yeah.
Like
get him.
Like the dude in the back of our church.
Oh yeah. He would. That's all he would do is like, yeah. And so like he kept doing it.
Yeah.
We were laughing so hard. And so then, you know, Usman kept punching Covington, you know, because they're fighting.
Yeah.
So we kept going, right back at the
Well,
kid.
that's what would be funny is, dude, like, I don't know, like, Usman would have, like, a good couple of, like, he'd be, like, doing good for, like, a 2 whole minutes, and then Covington turns it on for 30 seconds. They're like, yeah.
Oh, he was getting so hyped. And it's like, you don't recognize your dude just got rocked. So, you know, so we were laughing.
Oh, we were egging him on at every little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Usman could throw a kick or punch that got blocked, and it just sound good, and we'd be like, yeah. Like, and they'd get louder, so we'd get louder. Then, like, they'd get louder, and so we just kept climbing up with the volume. Oh, it was so funny. Like you said, you know, Usman could have a jab that didn't even land. We go, yeah. And so the thing that cracked me up was at the middle to the end of the 4th round when Usman started to rock Covington. Yeah.
And that kid goes, shit. Oh, that was the funniest thing, man.
That dude was literally on top the whole fight.
Oh, yeah.
He was like up here. Up here where he thought Covington was going to win the whole time, and he was so confident, you know.
Then right there at the middle to the end of the 4th round, he just dropped. He was like, oh, God. So, oh, man, we laughed so hard. So then the 5th round came, and I think Covington threw a couple punches that made that dude get excited again. Like, he was like, yeah, like thinking he ain't out of the fight. Then 50 seconds to go, Usman TKO'd him.
That was
a lot of people thought it was a bad call, but for me, I honestly thought it might have been late.
Yeah,
he had Covington on the ground. He was just going at it. So the ref didn't call it, and some people who were really rooting for Covington thought it was a bad call. But
I mean, that's typical, but if you look at it, like, if you get rocked, your equilibrium's already off. He got rocked before he put on his back in that 5th round.
Yeah. He got rocked in the 4th and the 5th round.
This second time he got rocked, and dude, it threw him back.
Yeah. Yeah, it literally threw him back against the cage.
And then Usman got on top. I feel like if you're just in the fetal position like he was, with your hands up like this, and you keep getting hit and you're not moving or nothing, you're just like this. I feel like if you get hit 5 times in a row, which he did, it was like 5 or 7 times, they have the right to call it. And I believe that the refs tell them that. I didn't think it was a bad stoppage.
No. I don't think so either, man. I think it was fair. I think he let it go on as long as he could. So nobody could say he had a bad call.
Yeah.
You know, besides like unhappy fans. But so Dana didn't say you made a bad call. But,
so you know, when this fight ended, we had more fireworks. These Kobe fans, man, they was upset.
Oh, well, when it ended, we got up, we cheered so loud, my throat was sore, man.
The 2 guys beside us, I thought they were Kobe fans, but they dapped you up.
Yeah,
man.
like one of them, because like I got up, I was D-Generation Exodus. I was like, boo! I was cheering. I was like, yeah! Like I wanted to go right up to that kid and go, suck it! Oh my God, it was the funnest thing. But then, yeah, like you said, those dudes dapped me up.
Yeah.
Covington fans were pissed. Oh my God, it was funny. So, yeah, and what else even happened after that?
Yeah, we were sitting there listening to the Octagon interview, and then I think one of the managers, somebody came over to the dude's table that we were talking about earlier that was standing in front of the TV.
Yeah.
He was real into Covington during the fight. He was a real Kobe fanatic. But he I guess the manager, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I mean, B-Dubs closes at 1.
Yeah.
But on fight nights, you know,
they'll leave it open.
He wasn't even making everybody get out. He was like he just went to their table, and I guess the dude had 2 full beers or something.
He had like 2 pitchers.
Yeah. But I mean, I know he drank a lot, but he had like 2 glasses.
Oh, 2 left on the table.
That's what the manager was taking. And him and the manager started getting into it.
Yeah.
But we know this was all about he was a little upset because his boy lost.
Yeah, like he was mad because Covington lost.
Yeah.
So he was fighting with the manager and was like, "Nah, man, I paid for those beers." And like he started getting, kind of hateful. And so the manager was like, "You're done, man. You got to go." His girl was embarrassed. She was like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
And me and Hannah were in the car and we were like, "Yeah, she could do better." like don't be with a tool like that.
Get you a Woodley fan or Usman fan.
Yeah.
Don't date a Colby fan.
Don't date a Colby. That's where you messed up, girl. What's wrong with you? Dating a Colby fan. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, this was a really eventful night. As y'all can see, this was the most fun I've had watching a fight.
It was a blast.
I literally laughed the whole time just because of these dudes getting so hyped. It was like we talked about the one dude, but there was like a table of like 5 or 6 dudes, and they was all going for Colby.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
I honestly, for a while, I thought it was just our table.
Yeah.
I thought it was just us 4 who were rooting for Usman.
Yeah.
But then after Usman won, like people were cheering for Usman. I was like, where were y'all when we were wooing this this kid over here?
I think they honestly just wanted to cheer for whoever won.
Yeah, they just wanted to cheer.
Yeah.
You always have those fans. So, but oh man, that was a hell of a night. That was so much fun. So I loved pissing that kid off. He was getting so annoyed.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Woo. Yeah. Oh, we got it.
Oh, that was so funny. Like you say, you go, get him. But, man.
Colby didn't want to hang around. I know he ended up, we also forgot to mention this, he ended up getting his mandible cracked pretty much right here in the middle of the chin right here. He's got a big crack in it.
You gotta say that's honestly props to Usman. You broke a dude's jaw.
That talked a lot.
Yeah,
it's kind of
that dude talked a lot,
Yeah.
and you broke his jaw while you were wearing gloves. Like it's kind of hard to break a jaw wearing gloves. Like you see people do it on the street because you're bare knuckles, man.
Yeah.
There ain't no cushion. You broke his jaw wearing gloves,
And you only had one knockout or TKO the rest of the whole career.
Yeah, so like you gotta feel pretty good about yourself if you're Usman right now.
But I did see the X-rays, and
was it more
kind
of
of props to Kobe? Kind of props to Colby too for finishing the fight. I mean, that's
okay. How bad was that? Was it bad? Was the X-ray bad?
I mean, it's tough. I'm saying kinda because I don't like him, but props to Colby.
Was the X-ray bad? Okay, I'll give it to him. Props for Colby.
It was a big crack, and a lot of people have weighed in on it, and they've said that some people retire after that. It's supposedly a big injury. I think RDA had that injury, and he said it took him 9 months to be able just to train. And he said he thought about retiring because he said a lot of people with that injury retire. There's a humongous percentage.
Yeah. Well, because that's never going to be as strong again.
Yeah.
You know what I think it was like, what is that, cartilage or bone right there? That got broke. It was bone, right?
Bone, yeah.
It must have just like worn down from like all the shit talking he did.
Oh yeah. And I mean, it was just weird too. Like wrestlers that kind of keep high pace, they stood up with each other. I felt like both of them took a lot of hits.
Yeah, they took a lot of. Now, like they weren't even great hits. Like
I know they
Usman
weren't,
had great hits from the middle of the 4th round to the end of the 5th. Like Usman threw them, but like until then, the fight itself, I wouldn't call it like a very, very
It was
interesting
kind of
fight.
like us on UFC. Like if we're playing that UFC game and we're not even holding down like the haymaker button.
Yeah, you're just like
jab.
Yeah, it's like the two like robot men. You're just going jab till someone's head like pops up.
Yeah.
Like the fight itself wasn't like the most like, oh, you got to see it. Like no.
Because
it was fun because of the surroundings.
Yeah, but we're talking like that's what surprised me. Neither one of them went for a takedown. Usman, Division III National Championship wrestler. Colby, Division I National Championship wrestler at Oregon State. Like, these guys always Colby had never been taken down, and I heard this from somebody, I can't remember who I heard it from, but it's honestly a good take. If you really wanted to dominate this person, y'all both fight the same. Why don't you do better at what he's supposed to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, both y'all are really good wrestlers. You're both, like, national champions. What's going to make somebody, like, ultimately look bad if you do better at what they're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I agree with you, man.
So I would have liked to see that, but I'm happy with the result.
I am happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy that it lasted so long. Like, there were a couple points when you were like, oh my God, this is 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Like,
we had to sit through 3 5-round fights.
yeah.
That's why it lasted until 1 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock.
Oh, 2 o'clock.
We left at like 2:10, 2:15. Sorry. So we left at like 2:15, and it was. There were a couple boring moments of the night.
Oh, there was that
like-
Amanda Nunes fight.
Yeah, the Amanda Nunes fight,
Yeah.
5 rounds.
Volkanovski and Max Holloway. It was alright, but
It was all right. Like,
kinda boring.
you can imagine what a leg kick was. That was the whole fight.
Yeah.
So, like, Max Holloway, like, sorry, you just said that. And even the Usman Covington, the fight itself wasn't, like, the most interesting fight.
Yeah.
Now,
are
like,
wanting
when you got to the end, it picked up.
People are wanting it to be fight of the year, but I'm like,
I don't
watch
think it
guys
is.
literally go out there and, like, brutalize each other. We watched them go out there and just touch each other.
Yeah, they
whole time.
just jabbed the whole time,
Yeah.
more or less. Like, it ended well. Like, it ended really well. But I think people wanted to be fight of the night because they just hated. fight of the year because they hated Covington so much.
Yeah.
But I don't think it deserves fight of the year.
And
Like,
I'm thinking Alessandra and
what got fight of the night? Did that get fight of the night?
yeah, it got fight of the night.
That should have got fight of the night.
Yeah.
That deserves fight of the night.
on that card. But
On that
fight
card.
of the year, like, I think the top runner for fight of the year right now is Israel Adesanya versus Kevin Gastelum. You remember that was 5 rounds for the interim title, and that was tough. Paulo Costa and Romero is one of the contenders.
That was
a good
another
one.
tough one.
Yeah. But it's probably gonna go to Israel and Kevin because it was a belt.
Yeah. There's a lot of good fights it could have been. I don't think this should be on that. Like, if this
Yeah.
gets it, I'm gonna be surprised. When do they announce that? Our year's almost over.
So, they have like an end of the year special. I think it's on New Year's. It's on New Year's Eve. I think they do it special on ESPN. Yeah, and they announce like fighter of the year. They're announcing fighter of the decade this year. I think that's something new they're doing.
That sounds
And
pretty
everybody's kind of in between DC and John Jones for that, of what I've seen. I know there's
Really?
probably other guys, but I mean, we're talking about people who have fought for 10 years.
Yeah, it would
and
have
been
to be
successful. So DC, I think DC, even though John has, obviously beat him twice, but he didn't beat him clean. That's been proven.
that's the hardest argument.
He got stripped afterwards. DC was a double champ. He only lost to 2 men in his career.
Yeah, true.
He lost to John Jones, which I believe those got taken away. Like, they don't count
Yeah.
as losses because he wasn't clean. And Stipe Miocic, and he gets a chance to avenge that. Hopefully in 2020. They're still working on it. They both agreed to it, but supposedly Stipe's recovery is not going good with his eye. He had to get eye surgery, but another thing I forgot to mention, they have announced Romero versus Adesanya, March 8th.
They announced that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's exciting.
So that is going to be...
What is your take on that?
Dude, I'm hyped about it. I
I'm
believe
hyped
it
too.
is March 8th. I think it's...
Dude,
If
I'm
it's
going
March
for
8th, I think it's Co-Main and John Jones Reyes.
Ooh.
That's what we wanted, I think. I believe...
I think
might
that
be
is what
wrong,
we said, wasn't
but
it?
that's what we wanted because John Jones and Adesanya's been talking a lot. So if they both get the job done, this could set it up. Obviously, I don't want Adesanya to get the job done, but if he does, it's
See,
it.
I want him to, though. Like, I love Romero, but, like, I'm on that Adesanya train right now. Like, I like him. I think he's a hell of a dude.
I like him too. Like, I don't dislike him. He's one of those guys, like I've said, like, It just depends on who he's fighting. If he's
Yeah.
fighting one of my dudes like Romero, I'm not going to go for him. Like I've said with McGregor, I don't dislike McGregor. I'm going for him against Cowboy just because I think he can beat Cowboy. But it just, like I said, it just depends. Like I dislike John Jones. I'm not going to go for him in any fight.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go for Colby. I know I picked him on the last podcast, but that was just because I told you, I said, me personally, I want Usman to win, but I was like, I think Usman came back a little too fast.
He might not win. Yeah.
So analytically, I picked Colby, but personally, no.
Well, I hope the same thing happens with Cowboy, and McGregor. I hope you're analytically picking McGregor and he loses.
Yeah, I'm picking McGregor both.
What, dude? Cowboy?
So far, this will be the last thing we talk about on the podcast. So 2020 is coming up. What fights are you looking forward to in 2020? We got Conor Cowboy, we got Romero Adesanya, we got John Jones Dominic Reyes, we got Khabib versus Ferguson. Just what are you looking forward to in 2020? I know this isn't our last podcast before the year's up, so we'll get more into like these 2020 things on our next one. But
I've got to say, man, I'm really. It's kind of hard to say which one I'm excited for because I'm excited for several. I'm excited for Cowboy McGregor because that's gonna be a big fight. I'm obviously excited for Stipe DC and Adesanya and Romero, like that, because I love Adesanya. I love the Stipe DC thing because we're kind of invested in that since the first fight.
Yeah,
just because we made bets on it
and we've been split on.
Yeah, and we've been split.
And
so like,
split.
What?
I said we've been split on that one. I've been going DC, you've been going Stipe, and they're 1-1.
Yeah, they're 1-1. So like, that's the only reason why I'm really excited for that. Like, it's also a big deal, but I'm excited for it because we're invested into it.
And so out of one of those, pick one that you want to see the most that you're looking forward to, and also pick a fight you want to see in 2020.
Oh, dude. Okay.
And I feel like we're gonna have the same on the one we want to see. Maybe. If not, it's okay.
Dude, but that's hard because there's so many.
I feel like we're gonna pick the same person.
Same person?
And one of our people will be the same in the fight we want to see.
You think so?
But go ahead.
Oh, dude, that's tough because there's so many.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many.
A dream fight, it can be anything.
Dream fight. Crap, man, you're killing me. I think I'm the most excited to see DC and Stipe again.
Okay.
Just because we're invested.
Yeah.
But I think watching Romero and Adesanya is going to get more hype. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're going to be there and, like, really get into that. But we're invested in a DC and Stipe, so I think I really want to see that one. The dream fight, for me, I want to see Adesanya and Jones.
Okay.
That's mine. So what's your fight that's happening that you want to see, and your dream fight?
So the fight I'm most looking forward to, and I'm like you, it's kind of tough. I'm so ready to see Khabib versus Ferguson. I'm so excited about that. That's not mine pick though.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'm so excited. DC and Stipe hasn't been made yet, but I'm so excited about that. I'm excited about Romero Adesanya. Dominic Reyes versus Jones. It's okay. I just don't.
I can't call it.
I feel like Reyes hasn't been tested enough yet to be so excited about that fight. And Conor Cowboy, I'm a little excited about. I just don't like the rest of the card. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it either way, but I want a good co-main event. I wanted Woodley on that main event.
He might still be on it as a co-main.
What are we? 3 weeks away.
We're 3. No. We're as of yesterday 4 weeks away.
Okay.
Yesterday, because it's January 18th.
Yeah.
So yesterday was 4 weeks away.
Okay, but I'm going to go just because DC versus Stipe hasn't been made yet. I'm going to go. I'm most excited for Romero Adesanya.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. That's why I'm so torn.
Just because I feel like
I guess if you want to be and that's why I'm excited for it. But I guess if you want to be technical, that's mine too, because like you said, DC Stipe isn't even a fight yet.
Yeah.
So really, the only choice is the Adesanya Romero. So I don't disagree with that.
The fight that I'm hoping that gets booked, kind of my dream fight of 2020. I thought you were going to mention this man's name, which your dream fight is a good fight too. I would probably pick that second, but I want Nick Diaz versus George Masvidal.
You know, and I was gonna say I'm kind of debating between
I thought
the
you was
two.
gonna put Masvidal because there's so many matchups for him right now.
That's what I was gonna say.
They're
It was like
talking
that's
about-
why there's so
yeah.
many dream fights is just off Masvidal alone.
Dude, they're talking about him fighting McGregor. They're talking about him fighting Floyd Mayweather. They're talking about Nick Diaz.
Dude, they're talking.
Usman.
Even Adesanya was like, I might lose some weight if he'll come up.
Yeah, they're talking about him fighting Khabib.
They're talking about him fighting everybody.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So like, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. So you know, I want to see Masvidal fight again. If he fought Nick Diaz, that would be some. Oh, that'd be
That's what
awesome.
I want, man. And see on Nick Diaz's Instagram, dude, he put like a sweepstakes out. He has this apparel website called don'tbescaredhomie.com, and he's like sells, you know, that's his famous phrase, don't be scared, homie. So he has that on t-shirts and stuff. He put out this sweepstakes. He was like, go on there, if you buy a shirt, you share this page. He was like, you're entered in the sweepstakes to, what did he say, be able get an invite to the after party at my upcoming UFC return. So we're like, he tweeted that December 9th. So we're like, do you know something we don't right now?
You kind of gotta know something we don't if you
Yeah.
posting that.
And at the end of the day, like, I feel like that's the fight to make. I mean, Dana said he wants to make Usman versus Masvidal. Not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either.
But Masvidal can get paid. We're just talking. The only thing that's holding that fight back is Nick Diaz. Is he going to agree to the contract that Dana gives him? Is Dana going to be able to give him enough money? I feel like Dana knows. Like, Nate obviously had a price tag he was not going to fight for, no matter who he was fighting. So hopefully that same price tag he's been able to appeal to Nate with.
I don't think
appeal
he's
to
gonna.
Nick.
I don't think he's gonna be able to pay the same amount. For
I mean,
Nick
obviously
because
not pay the same amount because you have been fighting, but he kind of should know it's in the ballpark of appealing to the Diaz brothers. I guess.
Yeah, and but you know you got to pay Masvidal a lot more just to show because you got somebody who's not really much of a UFC fighter anymore. Like he's not fought in how many years? It's been a while.
Them 5, I think.
Yeah.
2014, yeah.
Yeah, versus someone who's like the cream of the crop at the moment. Like he's
Anderson Silva, yeah.
And
That was his last fight.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
no, my fault. I interrupted you.
You like threw that in there at a time. I was like, wait,
I
Anderson
thought
Silva?
you were talking about Anderson Silva at that time.
Oh no! I'm talking like right now. Masvidal is the cream of the crop.
Of course. Yeah.
So like you've got to pay Masvidal a lot. So I don't
That's
think
what I'm saying.
I don't think
He
he's
deserves a
gonna
money
offer
fight.
them. Yeah. Like I don't think he's gonna offer him the same.
No, obviously Masvidal would be the A side, and I hope Nick Diaz would understand that. You're not going to be that. Like, Masvidal's the A side in any fight. Like, even if he fights Usman, Masvidal should get paid more than Usman, even though Usman's the champion.
Nah, I don't know, dude. That would be if I was Usman, I'd be like, I'm not fighting him until you pay us the same.
But dude,
like, I'd be a dick about it if I was Usman, because he's the champion, man. Like, he's the champ.
But look at this. So, like, yeah, Usman's the champ. But let's say we get Usman versus Leon Edwards next. Are you into that? I'm not.
Nobody's into that. But I know that. But I'm just saying.
When I hear those two names, like, yeah, they're really high level fighters, but you're telling me, like, I don't know, UFC 255, Usman versus Edwards. I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool, that's a fight. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what? I feel you, man. You know, like, I don't disagree with you. But I still think they've got to pay him the same because it shows what do you care more about is a name or a title.
Yeah.
So and this is still title based. Like this isn't the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point, like most of the time, your champion's always going to get paid more. I think at this point, Masvidal needs to be paid the same as Usman if they fight, and that's it.
Agreeable. Yeah.
I like just because I feel like you're setting a bad example. If you say, "Oh, Masvidal makes even $5 more," like you know that don't seem right. So, just I mean, he's a big name and I love him right now, but still, it doesn't seem right to pay him more than you're paying the person who's actually holding the belt. But I kind of think a belt fight would be nice. I mean, are you more excited for him to fight for a belt or fight Nick Diaz? He's going to go for whatever pays more, but what would you rather see? Masvidal with a belt or Masvidal fighting Nick?
I'd rather, just me being a Diaz fan, see Masvidal fight Nick Diaz.
If you take,
if you give Masvidal, Masvidal is going to be a megastar. He has the BMF belt and he has the welterweight belt, dude, megastar.
Yeah,
but I feel like if he fights Usman and gets that belt, how do you give Nick Diaz a title fight?
Yeah,
so that's why I want that to happen first.
So if he wins, he can get Usman and get a title fight.
Not really Nick Diaz getting a title
fight. No.
Yeah.
If Masvidal beats Nick, Masvidal can get a title fight. Okay, that makes
he
sense.
doesn't have to beat Nick; he deserves it. I'm just saying, if Masvidal gets the title, the Nick Diaz fight's hard to make.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely with that because he's not in the UFC anymore. Like, and if they fought, it would almost have to be like a fight to fight. Like, your belt's not involved at all. Like, it's just these two dudes having a bout. You know what I mean? If he had the belt, like if Masvidal has the belt, I don't think it'd be fair to fight for the belt. You know, for Nick to have a belt fight. True. So, but also I think that'd be nice right now for Usman and Masvidal because they're the they're the
I'm
top
not mad
right
at
now.
That fight.
No, I'm not mad either. Like I'm happy.
I still think that's a huge fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you're gonna have so many fans going at it, but just because those casuals kind of just come out, they just kind of come out for. I'm pretty sure a lot of casuals came out for Nick and Masvidal and Nate.
Yeah.
A lot of casuals are gonna come out for Conor Cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a lot of those, but I'm excited for either way. Really, I'm excited to see what they're announcing next for Masvidal. Yeah. It's whatever it's gonna be. It's gonna be a show. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Dude, I just got some good ideas for our next show since we're kind of wrapping up on this one.
Let's hear it.
We're gonna have a good podcast next podcast. I'm gonna have both of us come in and whoever our guest is, we're gonna have like a lot of 2020 stuff going on, and we're gonna all, if we get a guest, we're gonna all come in with our predictions for who do we believe is gonna be the champion at every single weight class in the UFC by the end of 2020.
By the end of 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we'll get a list.
Or not by the end. We can say in 2020.
In 2020. Well, the champion might change, though.
So so we can say by the end,
by the end of 2020.
Whatever you write down, you just interpret it. We'll try to get a guest on because that would be fun.
That would
kind
be
of
fun.
end out the year with a guest.
That wouldn't be bad at all.
But, that'll be something good we can do. Because I feel like there's a little bit of play in there. We can... There's a little bit of play with who could be champion in a lot of those weight classes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot, really. So, well, I guess that's it for me.
Yep. That's we'll get this wrapped up. Thanks for listening again, guys. Remember, we're on YouTube, Spotify. Follow us on Facebook at the Fight Bros Podcast. We got a page on there. And we'll be coming back at you with a good one to end the year off next week.
Next week, yeah, of course. So, hope you all have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yep, y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Enjoy your time, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Crisis.
What? Crisis?
Merry Chrysler.
Chrysler?
You ain't never seen that video.
No? Merry Chrysler? What are you talking about?
You ain't never seen that video.
No, Merry Chrysler.
Yeah, this girl, she started walking up to people on the street. She said, "Merry Christmas, Merry Chrysler, Merry Crisis," and the people are like, at first they smiled because they thought she said Merry Christmas.
And then they're like, "What?"
Yeah,
dude, I ain't never even heard of that.
It's funny. I'll show you after the podcast.
All right. Well, we're Merry Chrysler, everybody.
Yep, y'all have a good one.
Dude, I've never heard of that.